In today's program, we introduce you to the 5 men who have all followed different paths to get to this moment. But the end result will be the same. They will all be ordained to serve God and the church. At 32 years old, Deacon Stanislaus Achu is the youngest of the 5 future priests. CAROLEE McGrath has the story of this Nigerian-born man who answered the call.
At the 11 a.m. Mass at St. Mary's in Longmeadow on a recent Sunday, Deacon Stanislaus Achu assisted the pastor, Father C.J. Watikis. Deacon Stan has been at the parish during his last year of priestly formation, but soon he will be called Father Stanislaus.
You were sent to heal the contrite of heart. Lord, have mercy.
Lord, have mercy.
You came to call sinners. Christ, have mercy.
Christ, have mercy.
Deacon Stan's vocation story began in Nigeria, where as a little boy, his day started with family prayer at the crack of dawn. Then he and his brothers, who were altar boys, would run 4 miles to serve at the daily 6 a.m. Mass. The 32-year-old says he thought he always wanted to be a doctor, but the more he served at Mass, he says, the more he felt God calling.
Being a priest for me is still like being a doctor, because even though I'm not going to be healing biologically and physically, but with the sacraments, which brings healing to our souls spiritually, I'm still going to be doing the work of a physician as a priest.
There have certainly been bumps in the road. The pandemic postponed the ordination from June to August 15th. And his parents and siblings who were able to attend his ordination to the transitional diaconate last spring are not able to come from Nigeria because of the pandemic.
I was disappointed, sure, getting the news the first time on Holy Thursday. I wouldn't forget that day. But then I became delighted again when I, gave the news to my parents. I broke it to them and they were like, my dad was like, oh, you see how God works. I'm like, what is it? He said, remember you left Nigeria on December 8th, the Feast of Immaculate Conception, and now what you went to America to achieve, it's gonna all culminate on another Feast of Our Lady, on the Feast of the Assumption of Our Lady. You see how divine providence works. I'm like, oh, okay, I see that.
Deacon Stan is the oldest of 7 children and is a twin. He attended Catholic schools through grade 5 in Nigeria. He attended St. Joseph's Major Seminary in Nigeria, Providence College, and St. John's Seminary in Brighton. Father CJ says the diocese is beyond blessed to have Deacon Stan in the ranks.
I want to write Bishop a letter before he leaves saying, I hope you know how blessed this diocese is going to be to have this young priest, because not only is he an academician and loves the books, the learning, but he is extremely pastoral.
And he has other talents up his sleeve. He, like Father CJ, can sing. He was recently featured on reel-to-reel specials on Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Bless these walls so firm and stout, keeping want and trouble out.
The Blessed Mother is also central in Deacon Stan's life. He is consecrated to Our Lady.
We have a motto that says, all to Jesus through Mary, our mother. So whatever I do, I always, go to her first as my mother. And then I know that whatever she asks her son will always be granted.
Deacon Stan is certainly being ordained during a very difficult time in history. First, you have the coronavirus, which has caused suffering, isolation, loss, and disappointment. Then there's the racial tensions caused by the killing of George Floyd. There's political discord and bitterness, and yet Deacon Stan says God is still with us.
So with our freedom, it becomes our duty to try to show the face of God in all this that is happening. By little things that we do, kindness, charity, love, prayer, more of too. By our lives, what we do.
And while he's come a long way from the little boy who wanted to be a doctor, Deacon Stan says he still is on the path of healing, bringing the love and mercy of Jesus to a world that desperately needs it.
And so with that, all of us are yearning for God, whether we know it or not. We need Him, whether we know it or not. It's by His grace that we begin to see that oh, I now see that without Him, I cannot live.
And so, to Jesus through Mary, Deacon Stan prays for his fellow seminarians and the people he will serve in the name of Christ. Reporting for Reel to Reel, I'm CAROLEE McGrath.